You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. We're your lovely hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Angston. How are you today, sir?
The people who listen to these every week just have to like crack up.
So, like, what are they?
What the hell?
These guys, I bet you they want us to get to the point.
These jabronis.
They probably just want to like, hey, get to the. I don't want to have to fast forward.
Yeah,
Jerry.
Damn Jerry.
Anyways, quick announcement, guys. We have our coaching group. It's open. We are, we're at the end of the year right now. If you're interested in jumping into that group, we have a URL for you to go to.
winninggym.com/coaching.
That is the domain URL.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Are they the same? Domains and URLs are the same thing.
Yeah, I think a URL is like I don't know what
here's
URL
what it is.
stands for.
The URL is the final string.
Yeah.
And the domain is the base, right?
Mm-hmm. The root.
winninggym.com is the domain. So
I think so. I think that's correct.
There you have it. If you're interested in our coaching group, we have an 8-week coaching program. We are just now wrapping up with our first beta group. It's been amazing. In fact, this topic is about sales, and this is what we're working on right now, is our conversion systems, which is our sales process. We have a whole system. We have a whole system for just about everything in your gym. We've got a system for hiring, a system for onboarding your coaches, and we just gave everybody the employee manual and the employee handbooks, right?
It's like a Bible.
There's all these things that go into gyms, all these things. And most of the coaching that you're going to get out there in the real world is a specific thing on sales or marketing or whatever.
Kettlebell swings.
There's
a lot of that type of coaching in this industry.
We take your gym as a business and we dissect it, slice it and dice it and rebuild it. Most of the time, there's small things that need to be fixed. Sometimes they're big things. And in fact, there's some gyms we're working with right now. They're starting from scratch. And that's because they know that it's broken. And they just want to do it right. And this is the right time to do it. So if you're interested in our coaching, this is something we're passionate about, where we're doing it in a group now, and I love it even better. I look forward to these calls now instead of being like, okay, we got another hour and there's like 10 hours of coaching. It's one solid, strong hour. And sometimes it goes a little longer, but the point is if you're interested in that, winninggym.com/coaching, book a time. We'll talk to you all about it. I'm happy to share anything you have questions with, but, this episode today, guys, we're talking about, our conversion systems. And so like within our coaching program, we have a process. We call it the ProFit process. And it's pre-qualification, it's building rapport, it's, identifying the needs and the wants and the whys and developing pain and introducing the solution. It's all there, right? Yep. It's all there. And I know that I've taken sales courses in different industries and sales courses in this industry, and they're very rigid. They're very matter of fact. You got to do this. Don't move to the next step until you do that. And I get it, right? Yep. and I know that this isn't going to be normal for most salespeople. I know it because, when you're an owner of an operation, you've been in business 12 years and you can do whatever the hell you want. You do whatever the hell you want because the sale's right in front of you.
Correct.
The whole point of a sales consultation from the gym owner standpoint or the gym standpoint is to make the sale. Are we right? And the other side is for them to either get the best deal, feel like that there's value, make sure it's a good fit and all these things. But we want the sale. Now, I will tell you that we've not wanted the sale if they're not a good fit. Of course, there's plenty of time for that. But I want to tell a quick story about the consultation I just got out of because Zach's sick for a couple of days and I'm just filling in, which is great. I love doing these. And so I get a chance to come in, polish the, skill set and, keep the pencil sharp. And, and I have my own process, but because we're doing this in the coaching program, it's very fresh in my mind. Yep. And I wanted to follow the steps to the T, right? Pre-qualification, we have a form. They come in, they did that. They filled the form out. They only filled out one side. And I was like, hey, did you fill out the back? Because that's where the pre-qual, the front side's a waiver. The back side's the questions. Oh, we didn't do that. So we did that. And then we do our assessment, and it's where we do the embody, and we don't even talk. When I'm building rapport out in the lobby, and a couple other things that you do to set the frame. And like, so I left because I had to get something in this office anyway. I'm not standing there waiting for them to fill the form out. I'd leave. So I set the frame like they're waiting on me. I'm not waiting on them kind of thing. So, anyways, long and short of it is I get into the consultation. We've got like, I've got their information. I have their goals, we did their embody and I have it right there. Just about to start. Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan. So what brings you in today? Hey, I saw the $99 unlimited thing. We travel. I know that's a year deal. Like, I don't think we can do that. Like, and how does the freeze policy work? And like, do we sign up an agreement today? And like, if she joins too, are we on the same contract or on different contracts? I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes.
Hey, buy me dinner first. Yeah.
But I had to shift my thought because I was going to start going into digging into questions, but the guy wanted to know business stuff. And I found out later on he owns a company and this is like his mind is logical.
More logically rooted, yeah.
He was going to sign up for something, but he needed to make sure that the business side of it, the contract was going to work for his way he travels. Yeah. He's from Canada and all these things. And I could have been like, hey, we're not going to talk about that right now. I need to understand about you first. But instead, I'm like, what the hell? Let's talk about that. That's what he wants to know about. Yeah. And, we went on and we closed the deal, two annual unlimited memberships. So $10,000 worth of sales in a 1 hour consultation that I did. But I didn't follow any scripts. Yeah. I didn't follow anything. Like the only thing I did was fill out the waiver.
Yeah. In the beginning. I'm glad we were talking about this in this podcast because, sales can be very rigid, right? And when you do, high volume, when you're in sales environments, right? The script is kind of home base, but the human element is a big factor in sales. Yeah. And, in order for somebody to purchase something, right? In order for Jonathan to actually pull the trigger on it, he didn't give a damn about the emotional side of any of it, right? Correct. And if you sat there and you talked about the extra weight he wanted to get off and all that stuff, it's literally putting yourself at risk for losing the sale. And that's true because he and his wife might have been purely those types of needs, but he's rooted logically. Yeah, you identified that from some of his early tells, if you may. Yeah, and all you have to do is speak to that, right? That's all I needed to do. We were going over this before, just going over that situation, and we decided to do a podcast on it because too often, not necessarily gym owners, but anybody in a sales position makes it too difficult to do business with you. Right. We were going over the sales funnel. In our for the CLA, redoing some of those things. And, the process to getting to the point of having somebody in front of you, having somebody on the call, you can pre-qual, but you can also pre-qual all of your leads away. Sure. You know what I mean? If you want an easy sales opportunity, sure, have them fill out 4 pages of information. But how many people are actually going to get there? It's a similar thing. You have to go through your whole process left to right and make sure that you're making it easy to do business with you. Yep. And the sales is a big part of it. And if you stuck to the script, you could have potentially watched $10,000 walk right out the window. It would have. It would have. I sensed it right in the beginning. I was like, okay, this guy's just wanting to know details about specific financial details. So I spoke to that. We finally got around to some of the needs and wants and stuff. But the guy, had a trainer in Canada. He just wants to move. Was it Dimitri? No. He's out of Vancouver. Dimitri's in Toronto. But he just wanted to move. No injuries. Health history is great. He's working out right now. His wife just wants to tag along. Nice. There was nothing. It was like, I just want to move. And he goes, it keeps me sane. I want to work out, keeps me sane. And part of sales is determining their, client's needs, right? Whether it be within the gym or in the consultation, you have to figure out what this person needs, what pieces of information. Is it the emotional? Is it the logical? Are you sitting down and having the talk about, is it possible for them to get the results, right? Yep. Or is it, can I afford it? And so in this situation, it was, the money wasn't the problem. He just needed to check the boxes. And as long as you did that. Yeah. But that's feedback. You have to get that. And personality types, I think, are a big part of it. When you can, I know we've done a ton of DISC assessments and things like that, but when you can sit across from somebody and pick up their intrinsic motivation or what motivates them or what they're looking for.
Correct.
That's all the ammunition you need.
That's it. Yeah. You just meet them where they're at.
Exactly.
And I bet a younger salesperson would have lost that sale. The guy, well, I got to check on that, or
Sure.
I'm not sure, or let's talk about you first.
Well, let's talk about, did you do anything outside of the norm in order to make that sale happen, right? So
No.
travels, because you know what I mean? I know you guys do a freeze policy.
We do. We have to.
It wasn't like you didn't, hey, I'll throw in another month or something like that for you guys to freeze, or, you know what I mean? Like it was just.
It was our regular way of doing business because we have this type of client here.
Exactly.
They travel, they're here. This is their second home, third home, fourth home, sometimes some of them. And the guy was like, well, I'm going to be in an annual membership and I'm only going to be here 8 months. So I'm really paying. And he was trying to do the math and I go, time out. No, we'll freeze it. You will? Yeah, we have to. We've done it for 12 years because this market.
Correct.
Now, some gyms don't freeze. You cancel and you start, maybe they're month to month, and that's why we do annuals. I want this guy to have a home when he gets back in town and not have to resell the guy. So we do freezes because I'm going to guarantee he's here for the 8 months. And when he comes back, he'll come back here instead of looking for somewhere else and change of mind. So he's already committed. So that to me, the annuals make all the sense, especially for the people that travel and freeze and unfreeze and stuff. Yeah. He goes, isn't that a pain in the ass for you guys? I go, yeah, it is. But that's what we do. We have to do it. Yeah. And he's like, well, what if we can only do that? It's done. Don't worry. It's how we do it. Really? Yeah. Great. Really, that was it right there. He wanted to look at the gym, and we don't typically do a tour of the gym.
Isn't this fun? We got to go back through the process of that stuff.
We don't, and I'm doing it all right now. So he's like, can we take a tour of the gym? And I'm like, we don't ever really, there's nothing to talk about. These are kettlebells. These are dumbbells. This is because it's not about the equipment. It's about the coaching in the program and the motivation and the accountability. It's not about the treadmill and the TRX.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I go, and in fact, I make mention of that. I go, this is equipment. You've seen it all before. And he goes, oh, this place. I think we get I kind of don't mind doing it because our place is gorgeous.
Beautiful,
people love it. And they're like, and he was making mention, man, it's so clean. Oh, so I could see. Yeah. He was kind of like, he needed to, whatever. He needed to visualize it.
Yeah.
And the wife's like, super cool. I don't even know if I want to talk about that. She's Japanese, and she was talking about how her family lives for over 100 years. And she has several family members that are 110, 109, 108 years old.
That's awesome.
And I was like so intrigued.
Yeah.
But it's about, and I guess there's documentaries about this particular area in Japan.
Yeah.
Okinawa.
I've seen, they call it silver or something. I can't remember, but yeah.
And her whole family, she goes, I was talking to my 107-year-old, uncle or whatever the heck. And he was FaceTiming me and we're joking and he's walking around in the garden. I'm like, dude, anyways, totally off topic, but I thought it was I think that's interesting, man.
I love that stuff, yeah.
Why does this particular area
outliers?
We've got genes involved,
sure.
but it's definitely environment and diet.
Environment. Oh yeah. And I've seen a documentary, at least one on it. And because I don't remember the percentages, but yeah, the greatest concentration of over 100 or over 90-year-old individuals in the entire world. Yeah. Mind blowing. Yeah. And you'd go through their diet and it's not mind-blowingly different.
It's portion controls. And she goes, we don't eat anything that's old. Like if it's fresh, we'll eat it. But if it's past a certain, whatever they deem old, then they don't eat it.
Interesting.
But here's a good point, and maybe this is the real point of why I'm telling you this, is we had a conversation in that office. I got to know them.
Yes.
And it was just that. It wasn't a sales pitch. It was just me talking to them. And
you're building, that's part of building rapport, but you're building a relationship. I've said for years, this gym is like a family. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're joining a family. You're going to be part of something. And
guess what? It's all over the notes. And so the coach is going to know that. And they're going to ask about this 110-year-old,
107-year-old
grandma. Grandma's sister is what it was. And, and then the uncle's 107. But it's wild. But I guess the point is there's rigid and if we're being honest, you should have a process, because if you end up failing, you need to know how to fix it.
Correct. Yeah, baseline for measurement.
Yeah, if you're doing it different every time, you have 5 salespeople and they're doing all different, and these 2 are doing great and these 3 aren't. Like, why? There's no way to identify it.
Yeah.
Systems are important for that.
And it's a fallback, right? Like, let's say you got through that and conversation just got stale.
Went south,
you know what I mean? And it just was there. You can always go back to the steps. I've always said in our sales coaching too, I'm more concerned with the process that you follow through a sales consultation than I am with the exact words you use, right? Like, you know, in the beginning, you need to build rapport.
Yeah.
I don't care if you bring up their animals versus, their kids, or like, make it real.
That's true.
Genuine. That to me has always been more impactful, right? Just making sure you're at least getting through the steps of a sales process, as opposed to like, we're going to walk, the floor. It's just too rigid.
Yeah.
You need to be comfortable in that seat too. And people pick up on that.
Yeah, they want to do business with people they like anyway. Correct. So I make them like me, or it's not even, I'm just being a human. So sales shouldn't be hard. I guess the point of this podcast was like, yes, there's a process, but sometimes you need to know and read where the guy or girl is at the other side of the table, and don't take them down a path they don't want to go down.
Correct. That's exactly it. You could talk yourself out of the sale.
Yeah, and I would have. And somebody would have. But anyways, not to our own horn, but that was a good point to make, because this sales is a huge part of a business. You have to close deals. And a lot of people, I mean, everybody feels they close 80%, but when you really look at the tracking of the numbers, it's usually nowhere near that.
No, I'd say I without, a hard guarantee, I mean, it was probably 30% to 40% consistently when we got into numbers with gyms that we've worked with over the years. I mean, this goes back to even lead gen stuff when we were doing lead gen, but you guys, there's no benefit to saying you close 80% if you're closing 40. It's like talking about your top line numbers, right? We talk about it all the time. It's great for egos, but if you want to make money, drop the ego and go fix the system.
Go dig in, and get it figured out.
It's a hell of a lot better life, than struggling and putting a smile on your face. So
there's nothing. I want gyms that are listening. Stop what you're doing. Just you're driving, keep driving, but I want you to focus for a second. How good does it feel, or would it feel if you're not there, to know that you can click a button, generate leads, and you have the confidence that you or your team's going to close deals. And so you can immediately turn the business around by just knowing the right things to do. That's the seat I sit in. I know I can generate leads and I know I can sell deals. It's confidence and clarity. You just feel great and there's no scrambling. Yes, you have peaks and valleys and throughout the process, but if push comes to shove, we got to get some deals done.
It's there.
I'm not worried at all. It's going to happen. So anyways, it's a good place to be. If you need help, this is where our coaching comes in. This is, not a real pitch for coaching, but we go through all of this. And this is something that I'm really passionate about, and we've made it better and it's getting better. And it's like, we're there. We got this great program now. So winninggym.com/coaching. If you have interest. Until next time, guys, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye.